So a microdose is sub-hallucinatory. So you're not supposed to be anywhere near a psychedelic experience. And this is a very common misconception that you're supposed to be feeling something. In a proper microdose, you're not supposed to physically be feeling anything really at all. And there are some signs if your microdose is too high. One of those signs is if you're feeling an increase in anxiety. Microdosing is really supposed to decrease anxiety, not increase anxiety. Also, if you're feeling unfocused, that means your microdose is a bit too high. And again, microdosing is supposed to increase focus, not create confusion or the inability to focus. And another sign is if you're just feeling generally uncomfortable in your body. That could just be your microdose is too high. Also, heart palpitations is a sign that it's a little bit too high. And so I'm going to be focusing on psilocybin mushrooms, although some of this really is, for microdosing other things such as LSD as well. So for mushrooms, to find your microdose, it takes a little bit, the dosage for your microdose, it takes a little bit of experimentation. It can really range anywhere from 0.05 of a gram, so 50 milligrams, to 0.3 of a gram, so 300 milligrams. And if you're sensitive to medications, you will likely be sensitive to microdosing. And if you are sensitive, just go low, start slow. And also there's foods that do increase the effects of psilocybin, so be very mindful of these foods on your microdosing days. So that's chocolate, especially the dark chocolate, and lemons and limes, that citric acid. And people who have more of a high tolerance, you could just naturally have a higher tolerance, but there are some, medications that can increase tolerance, such as SSRIs, SNRIs, MAOIs, kratom, trazodone, anything that is affecting your serotonin receptors. It's also being mindful of serotonin syndrome. This is very unlikely, but possible. And serotonin syndrome is just when your serotonin receptor, you're just getting flooded just with that serotonin. And there are some signs to watch for: diarrhea, feeling extremely dizzy, extreme confusion. But just educate yourself on it. Although it's very rare. Other things that can increase your tolerance is if you're on the spectrum. So, yeah. I was just talking about medications. I want to go back to that. There's two medications that is actually dangerous to mix while microdosing, and that is lithium and tramadol. It can actually create seizures, so it's not safe. Also, if you have a personal history of schizophrenia, it's not the best idea to be microdosing because it could really throw you into another episode.